What's going on YouTube? Uberman here, and you know what time it is. It is Copart walk around time. This is where we look at some of the vehicles that I'm interested in bidding in and some that I just find interesting. So against my better judgment, I'm going to show some of the cars I'm interested in, but I'm not going to show you all of them. This is one that I am absolutely interested in. As you can see, doesn't seem to have any real damage. Other than this fender here. We got some undercarriage damage on this one. You can see it looks like it probably hit a curb, something like that. So I know it's got control arm damage. Other than that, there's my brother. What's up, Tim? I'll take a look underneath real quick if we can. I can barely get under there. Okay, we're not getting under there. From what it looks to me like we have a tweaked control arm on the passenger side and maybe even on the driver's side as well. Other than that, looks to be in pretty decent shape. I don't think it's anything major. And you look at this back side right here, we got a little scratch here. This rim looks like it's okay. Got a little scrape and scratch on the side here. Nothing major. It's an older Mustang and it is a V6. I know a lot of people are like, why would you want to buy a V6? Well, believe me, it's not for me because I have a 2017 V8 at home. But still, the interior leaves a little bit to be desired. And it looks like someone may have removed the battery, although that battery doesn't belong to this car. And of course it does not start. Go figure. This one is for sale from an insurance company. I love these. I love ones that are for sale from the insurance. Beautiful old V6. Looks pretty decent. Oil cap looks decent. Oil is really black. I mean, very black. So that tells me that somebody is not taking care of it. I don't know if you can see down in there, but the coolant it's okay. It's definitely not great, but it is what it is. And looky here, we've got a Prius that has seen much better days. And we got this yellow Corvette right here. Very, very clean. I don't think this one is on the for sale list yet, so we're not going to mess around with it, but obviously blown bags and definitely some front end damage. Still a beautiful car. And who can ignore a Camaro, right? Even though it's an older Camaro and it's a V6, still it's a Camaro. And I must show respect. This one doesn't show much damage. What's going on this side, I wonder? Oh, this was up on the last auction. I actually saw this on the last auction. So I guess it's still here. Ouch. What happened to this Benz? This looks like paint. It is paint. You know, just a guess, a truck with paint in the back. The paint flew off, hit the car, obviously, and the car wrecked. That would be my guess anyway. How about that? That's not something you see every day, is it?
That's a lot of paint.
Wow. What a shame. It was a beautiful car. Was. An S-Class. Very nice. This is one that I'm not interested in because it's way out of my price range, but this is an unbelievable deal right here. This is a 2017 GMC Acadia, all right, with 23,000 miles, SLT, big alloys. Look at this, man. This is a beautiful SUV, and I know you're probably wondering what is wrong with this. This is listed as a burn vehicle. Someone locked it, I guess because they thought they would be funny. I've already checked this out. I was really interested in this. I was. But like I said, it's above $5,000 now. This is a very expensive SUV. You probably can't hardly see it, but it's listed as a burn. And if you look, you can see that it has evidence of a burn all over it. Guys, this thing was parked underneath some kind of a structure that burned. 90% of the vehicle is in excellent condition. And this just cleans up. I mean, literally, this all will just clean up. It's got a few little scrapes and dings, but you can see there's pieces of drywall here. All right, there's evidence that it was under or inside a structure that burned. But even the plastic is still all good. Headlights still all good. Now, there are some scratches, like I said, you know, some things are going to have to be repaired, but this is minor, very minor damage. You obviously have some pretty significant damage here. This mirror would need to be replaced. Again, you got damage up top.
Crease right here.
And you got a pretty decent dent right here. My brother just found. My guess is something, you know, the place probably started falling on top of it. But overall, like that trim would probably need to be replaced. This would clean up very nicely. This trim all would need to be replaced. You can see this side got really hot. But still, you know, for someone that's looking for a new vehicle, relatively cheap, with 24,000 miles on it, this thing would be excellent. This would be a great buy at a huge discount, and you still get the warranty through GM. All right, so here's one I'm interested in. I think this could be a fun project to put back together. Of course, I say that, but I haven't looked at this one yet, so I don't know the extent of the damage. You can see we've got something protruding down here. The front end took a pretty decent hit. It doesn't look like it's too bad. This is a 2013 Dodge Dart SE. Pretty basic car, nothing spectacular, but it doesn't look too bad. At least on the outside, looking around it, it looks pretty decent. Aside from the front end, of course. I don't believe we have any airbags blown on this. So we do have a busted windshield. This is an insurance company, Shelter Mutual Insurance, 125,000 miles, which is definitely higher than I would prefer on one of these basic style cars. Fires right up. And no airbag light. Everything seems to be fine. It's running good. See if we can pop the hood and see what it looks like under there. This is one that probably won't go for much. It's a pretty common vehicle, and I don't think there's a whole lot of interest in it. But I guess we'll see. Obviously, it was running and driving when it was involved in the accident. Well, she seems to run good. I would almost bet that we've got a broken radiator, maybe. Maybe not. I feel coolant in there, so maybe it's just low on fluid. Looking down here, the radiator actually looks fine. It looks like everything behind here is still good. We just basically need a front bumper, a crash bar. See if we can climb under here real quick. Here's what the underside looks like. Transmission looks fine. Engine looks fine. Everything under here actually looks pretty good. This may be bent. It's hard to tell for sure. But overall, this doesn't look like it would be a very difficult project to put back together. Windshield, headlight, bumper, crash bar, and maybe a hubcap. I think that's about it. This one looks like this would be a really easy project. So definitely interested in this one, especially since it runs and I'm certain we could even drive it home. Interior needs a good cleaning. It's not too bad, not too bad. Well, here's another one that I thought I was really interested in, but upon walking up to it, I've decided I don't think I'm interested in it anymore. Granted, a lot of it is just this broken bumper. You can see the crash bar has been bent upwards at an angle here, so I would probably bet frame damage on that. This side isn't bad. This side isn't bad at all. This is Police Impound, Oklahoma City Police Department. This would be fun to, I don't think this would be worth fixing, but we could lop the bumper off, right? Air up the tire, 182,000 miles. That's a lot of miles. The back end has been involved in an accident. You can see the trunk doesn't line up at all with the light here. So something pretty significant has happened back here. Basically, this would be fun to air up the tire and just go do some burnouts. You know, burn the rubber off of it, put it up for sale, and just resell it as is. I think we have a key for this one. We have a key. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Let's see if it starts. It does not.
That battery.
Of course. I wonder if we can see under the hood.
Or the engine.
This is yeah, this would not be worth putting any money into or doing anything to at all. But it would be fun just to go do some donuts, right? I think anyway. I can't get into the trunk like that either. Okay. This car is already pissing me off.
I'm not impressed.
Here we have your typical 4.6 liter V8. Definitely nothing special. It is very dry, I will say that. Like, the valve covers don't appear to be leaking. I don't see any apparent oil leaks coming from anywhere or coolant leaks. Looks like it's a pretty well taken care of motor. Engine oil is actually pretty decent. That's not bad at all. Maybe it belonged to an older person, you know, that just wasn't very good at driving, you know, backing up, going forward, things of that nature. We've got coolant. I can hear the coolant.
There's the mud caked and the sensors and stuff down there.
Yeah.
What does that have?
The coolant, although it doesn't look great, looks pretty decent. Oil looks decent. Check the cap. I always check the cap to see if there's any kind of buildup from sludge or lack of maintenance or blown head gaskets. Cap looks good too. And on these, luckily, they still allowed you to check the transmission fluid. And if you look at that, that right there is a perfect example of fluid that is about time to change. It's not bad. It's not black. It's not pink, so it's not new, but it's a kind of a dark red turning to brown. Now, that is how you know you've got transmission fluid that is due to be changed, which is good. I prefer it to be that way. I get real paranoid when I see transmission fluid that looks perfect and pink. It makes me really concerned that someone figured out there was a transmission problem, tried to fix it after the fact, and then dumped it off at the auction. This would be fun. What do you guys think about this one? This would be fun just to tear up, do some burnouts, do some great footage in 4K or something. We could have some fun with this one. I'll see what you guys think later. And then you run across things like this, you know? It's a smaller GMC truck. This is the full terrain. What is this, a 14, a 15? That's a 16. This is an all-terrain, beautiful truck that took a little bit of a hit in the back here. I would still drive it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I would tie it to a tree and just smash on the gas until we pulled these dents out, and I would drive the heck out of this. What a shame. I mean, I know it's a small truck. It definitely took a huge hit. But still, man, look at this. I would love to have this truck. What has it got? 19,000 miles on it. I don't care. I would drive it just like this. I swear to you. I would not care. I would drive it anyway. And here we have the Monte Carlo SS that I thought was not a true SS because it didn't have a supercharger, but you guys were really cool and corrected me, and I can admit when I was wrong. The SS did not come with a supercharger. It runs. It doesn't sound like it runs happily, but it runs nonetheless. It's got a pretty clean body. I like it. Sounds good. No smoke. I don't see anything blowing out of the exhaust. Interior is not too bad. Let's see if the AC works. That's important out here in Oklahoma, let me tell you. Gauges look good. No check engine lights. No anything crazy. I can feel the AC kicking on, so the AC works. I'm interested in this one. Definitely interested in this one. I think it's a very sexy car. And I've always had a thing for these when they first came out. I always wanted one. Never did get one. Always wanted one. I love it. Okay, I keep getting sidetracked, man. Look at this Studebaker. Oh, this is just beautiful. Look at this metallic paint. Oh, it's beautiful. You just don't see this kind of craftsmanship these days. You don't. Suicide doors, just like the old Lincolns. Oh, wow. They took the interior out of a Lincoln. Speaking of Lincolns, this is a Lincoln interior. Look at that. This is the interior out of what I'm guessing was a Lincoln Town Car. Isn't this beautiful? Look at those moon hubcaps. Now, I'm not entirely sure what kind of Studebaker this is, but I think that says Land Cruiser. Some of you old school folks out there might be able to confirm what this thing is, other than ridiculously sexy and gorgeous. What a joy this would be to have, wouldn't it? I mean, what a pleasure this car would be to drive. All right, here we go with our Carnage vehicles. I'm trying to put them at the end of this video so that those of you that don't want to see it can just walk away. And those of you that live for this stuff, can you imagine? Imagine this, you're sitting right here in the driver's seat, right? Imagine that. I mean, whatever happened to cause that damage. Look, there is literally money. There's money stuck in to the A-pillar. I mean, whatever happened to this truck, the people inside had to be absolutely terrified. And here we come to a big Chevy that somehow lost all of its suspension on the passenger front. It hit something pretty hard because it even twisted the rear axle. Here's the front end. This was obviously four-wheel drive. You got your CD axle there. You got your ball joint that popped out right there. You got your ball joint that popped out right there. That was a very unpleasant experience. Look at this thing. Wow. Look at that. You could fit a small child under there. Unbelievable. Yeah, that hurt. And here we have the Monte Carlo SS. Looks like a real badass car. Looks like it'd be just a fun to terrorize the streets with. Fun to terrorize the street. Yeah, I'm not editing that, man. You know, unfortunately, all of the cars from this era were really underpowered thanks to the restrictions placed on auto manufacturers by the Environmental Protection Agency. Smog, emissions, all that crap. You ended up with a lot of cars that looked like they should go fast, but unfortunately they weren't really good for much. Still, sad to see a beautiful old Monte Carlo. And this one is definitely not smog and EPA. You can see we got Edelbrock under the hood there. We got the chrome Edelbrock valve covers. We've got long tube headers on this baby. The car is pretty screwed. Fixable, but that engine right there is worth something. I can guarantee you that. You know, this wreck at first glance doesn't look horribly bad, but if you take a look closer, you see it actually ripped the crunch bar off of the frame rail right here, snapped all the bolts, bent the frame rail, and you can see that the engine and transmission are literally laying on the concrete. The engine and tranny got ripped out, core support is ripped off, and this thing is just laying on the ground. So this, even though just at first glance doesn't look horrible, this was a bad accident. This was a very bad accident. No airbags deployed or anything. I don't know how that happened, but it was a very unpleasant experience for someone, I can guarantee you that. This is another beautiful Harley. You know, it surprises me. I guess it doesn't take much to salvage or total these things, because you see some really amazing looking bikes here that look like they have very minor damage. Now, granted, I don't know anything about motorcycles, or my granddaddy would probably call them motorcycles, but man, I'm almost tempted to get into these. This right here looks like it's only got a little bit of scuffing right here. I don't see anything major wrong with it. Hey, you can see these bikes have obviously been laid down, but I don't know. This is just a cover, I think, an air cover, air cleaner. I don't see anything that constitutes just totaling these things out. They look like they're still drivable. I mean, they look like you could get on them and ride. Here's another one. Love it. It's almost enough to convince me to learn how to ride. There's just something about motorcycles that is sexy. This was here last time, but still, I feel like I need to show it because it looks awesome. I don't know exactly what it is or what its purpose is, but it looks like a lot of fun. I would have a blast with this. I would probably drive this off-road to the lake and go fishing with it. In fact, I would probably just go fishing out of it. Here's a nice looking one, only because it specifically says Polaris all over it, right? And it's got a 900cc engine. Lots of room on this one. Oh, there's a broken windshield. Yeah, something happened. This is a Ranger, smoothest riding. Who cares if it's smooth riding, right? I mean, this thing's made to have fun. There's another one, a 1000cc Polaris, dual overhead cam, high lifted. Man, I could have some fun with some of this stuff, guys. I could. This one got twisted up. Look at that. I mean, even the motor is destroyed. The motor, I believe, is upside. Yeah, the motor is upside down and facing the wrong direction. This used to be a Malibu before it met a horrible, horrible demise. I mean, again, could you imagine you're sitting in this front seat when this happens? I couldn't. I don't think I could even begin to imagine what that would have been like. And here we have a Toyota. Again, what used to be a Toyota. I mean, this thing obviously flipped. Wow, we're gonna have to walk around because I'm not trying to get cut up on any protruding pieces of the car. But, you know, this is one of those wrecks that you look at it and you think nobody walked away from this one, you know?
Projectiles went through your head covers and the seats.
I mean, look at this. Look at the headrest, you know? I mean, I can't even, this is a GoPro and I can't even hardly get the camera in. There's somebody's shoe. You know, somebody's shoe. There's what looks like blood or something all over the roof. I don't know. Look at this. Look, there is wood literally embedded in the metal right here. Wood. Wow. All right, that's going to be it for the Copart video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Big shout out to Chris here at the local Oklahoma City Copart yard who gave me permission to record out here. That's a huge blessing for me. I know a lot of YouTube creators don't get to record the Copart lots. Unless you're doing it sneaking around. I didn't even know for sure until Chris came out and said, hey, you know, we got to check the policy on this. But he said, you know, I like what you do. You seem like a cool guy. So he's letting me record out here. So thank you to Chris. Thank you to Copart in general. I really love what you guys are doing here. It is getting tough for regular guys like me, like you, because so many people are coming from YouTube and now we have so many of the public out here buying cars. So the bids are going up, makes it more difficult for people like me and hell, people, salvage yards are having to pay more. Prices are going up, but you know, at the same time, while that may suck for us, it's great for Copart. So I love being part of this. I really enjoy doing this Copart walk around content. I love buying, fixing, and selling cars. I really enjoy it, and it's you guys that give this opportunity to me. It's because of you that I get to do something that I really love, and not everybody can say that about their job. So thank all of you for making this possible. If you like this content, give the video a thumbs up. You think the content sucks? Don't hesitate to give it a thumb down. Don't forget to comment below. I love seeing you guys' comments. I love reading and interacting with you. So definitely post those down below. I'll catch you soon in the next one.